Hi, I'm Christopher Nelson, and in this video, I'm walking you through the biggest changes I'm making to my $8 million portfolio in 2026. I'm going to share the investments I'm closing out, the ones I'm doubling down on, and the three-part framework I use every single year to make these decisions with confidence. So whether you're managing a $1 million or $30 million portfolio, this is how you go from reactive wealth management to running your money like a CEO. When I first started managing serious wealth, I made every mistake in the book. Too much concentrated in company stock, chasing hot deals, zero systems, and lots of FOMO investing. The turning point was coming to grips that I was brilliant at my day job, but a rookie at managing my millions. So I did what a systems-minded person would do. I built a framework to make sure that wouldn't be the case forever. Now, every year I run what I call my annual portfolio CEO review, looking at three areas. Number one, the portfolio. Where do I divest and where do I invest? Number two, operations. What can I simplify and make more efficient? And number three, succession. How do I better prepare my portfolio to be passed down? This takes a few focused sessions each year, but the clarity it creates lasts 365 days. Every decision runs through my investment thesis, which acts as my North Star, and the documents that I'm optimizing for and how I define success. Let me show you what this looks like in practice for 2026. This coming year, my focus is crystal clear: reduce risk, increase liquidity, and diversify income. Now, I'm not chasing 20% returns. I'm building a portfolio that can weather any storm while still compounding. The first move I'm making is closing out underperformers. I'm exiting several private equity real estate positions where the operators aren't hitting projections and cash flow is unpredictable, and my capital is still locked up with no clear exit. This isn't panic selling, it's honest evaluation. If an investment isn't meeting my thesis, I want to make sure that I plan to exit and redeploy that capital somewhere else more productive. Simple as that. Now, the second move I'm making will help with both performance and simplicity of my portfolio, and that's doubling down on proven operators. I'm going to increase allocation to those private equity operators who've consistently delivered, hitting distribution targets quarter after quarter. If you haven't done any investments in the private equity markets before, here's the tip: the operator matters more than the investment. But let's move on to the third move I'm making, and that's I'm increasing my exposure to public markets. I'm rotating capital into covered call ETFs, dividend ETFs, and individual dividend stocks. There's three specific reasons why I'm doing this. First, liquidity. I can exit quickly if needed. Second, income diversification. I shouldn't be relying solely on private equity distributions for income. And third, simplicity. It's less operational overhead, these public investments. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm still not looking for great operators in the private markets. It's just that my priority order has changed. First, reduce risk through diversification. Second, increase liquidity. And third, protect and diversify income. Fourth is to pursue strategic growth. This isn't playing defense. It's building a portfolio that compounds wealth while managing risk intelligently. Here's what nobody tells you: complexity accumulates fast. You open accounts everywhere, sign up for every tool, and suddenly you're spending hours managing infrastructure instead of making investment decisions. I'm no exception. So here's my 2026 simplification plan. First, consolidation. I'm moving from multiple brokerage accounts to one primary platform with interactive brokers. Fewer accounts, fewer providers, easier to manage. Next, I'm doing a tool audit. Every subscription gets reviewed annually, and I ask the simple question: is this tool earning its place? If I'm not using it monthly, or it's not providing clear value, it's gone. Ultimately, the goal is to spend less time on the operations side of my microfamily office so I can spend more time in the actual investing, evaluating investments, building operator relationships, and making strategic decisions. Think of it like refactoring code: same functionality, cleaner architecture. Now, this last part is what most people ignore until it's too late. But if you don't actively involve your family, they'll inherit wealth they don't know how to manage. So here are my 2026 succession initiatives. Track number 1, charitable giving. My sons are selecting our family charity this year. They're going to research options, narrow to 3, present their choice. This teaches them due diligence and stewardship without risking portfolio capital, and they absolutely love it. Now, track number 2, investment training. This past fall, I started getting my oldest son involved in our options portfolio. He's tracking positions, understanding our covered call strategy, and will execute trades under supervision at some point in 2026. I'm also thinking about which son conceptually owns which part of our portfolio long-term so that they can develop expertise in specific areas. And then that brings me to track 3, family governance. I'm ramping up our board meetings. This quarter, my oldest is presenting on the options portfolio, what we're producing, and the value it's creating to the overall portfolio. The goal is not to turn my kids into portfolio managers. It's ensuring that they understand wealth is responsibility and not just an inheritance. So let me share the 3 biggest lessons from this year. Number 1, your priorities will shift. That's wisdom, not weakness. I went from 100% growth focused in 2012 to income focused in 2021 to risk reduction focused moving into 2026. Your investment thesis should evolve as your life evolves. Now, the second lesson is short and sweet. Simple beats complex every single time. And the third lesson, family involvement compounds like interest. Start early and do it often. I began bringing my sons into financial discussions before middle school. That early exposure is already paying dividends in how they think about money. So here's your action plan to apply this as you move into 2026. Sit down and ask yourself these 3 simple questions. Question number 1, portfolio. Where do I divest and where do I invest? Pull up your allocation. Be honest about what's working and what's not, and filter every decision through your investment thesis. And if you don't have an investment thesis, you should come to our next workshop. More on that in a second. Question 2 is operations. What can I simplify? Tally up your accounts, subscriptions, and tools. What's earning its place? Consolidation isn't about being cheap, it's about being effective. And lastly, question 3, succession. How do I future-proof my portfolio? Here's the uncomfortable question. If something happened to you tomorrow, could your family take over? Do they know where the accounts are, who the advisors are, how the investment works? Start documenting everything. Your investment thesis, account access, key contacts, and the why behind your decisions. Then gradually bring your family into the conversation so wealth transfer doesn't come during a crisis moment. So now pull up your calendar, block out some time in the next few days to run your own review to ensure you're rolling into 2026 with a clear game plan. Now, if you're managing between $1 million and $30 million and you want a systematic framework to run your wealth like a business, head right now to wealthops.io or click the link below to sign up for our next live workshop. I do one every other week, so the next one is likely right around the corner, no matter when you're watching this. In the workshop, we're going to cover what a micro-family office is and who should have one, how to build your investment thesis from scratch, and a deep dive into drawdown versus evergreen models, and the asset category structure that ultra-wealthy families use. And finally, a simple system that you can implement for yourself. But if you're not ready, check out this video where I break down the micro-family office in detail. See you next time.